Welcome everybody to Game 1 in our match between Business of Ferrets, CCS9. What is this? Is this a crossover event? And Heavy Greg. Business of Ferrets, our home team, they did lose the coin flip. Heavy Greg did win the coin flip, obviously, going for the first pick. Business of Ferrets banned out the solo lane maps of Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire. Heavy Greg then banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Garden of Terror. Not a fan of the team fight maps, it would seem. Excuse me. So CCS9 took us to Infernal Shrines, a solid mix of macro map as well as team fight map. We do have the Anduin and the Hogger banned out. Just a quick thing of note, by the way, because it was brought up in the coin flip. Next week, which is the first week of the finals, there's a new patch coming. So do come around next week. I'm sure things will get very exciting and very fun. We do also have the KT ban, a solid ban out for the map. Probably Joe ban here, honestly. But yeah. Where's all my talkative folks? I know a few talkative folks are around, or at least said they'd be around. Maybe they're not around yet. We are just in the Game 1 draft, so there's plenty of time for all the talkative folks to arrive. Not sure what first pick is here. Oh, Joe, probably. Really? Vala! Vala is our first pick for the evening. Interesting. Not her worst map, but... Like a pirate, patches are welcome. Absolutely. Patches are always welcome. Do we see that Joe picked up here? No. Is this going to be a Joe-less Infernal Shrines game? That is very surprising. Joe is like a go-to tank on most maps, but like especially on Shrines. We do have Beetle Sylvanas, though. I did not say that. But yeah, Beetle Sylvanas. There's the Johanna. I was gonna say, are we actually gonna make it through a Game 1 without a Joe? I'm actually surprised it went that long. But something in my eye. Aside from my contact, I think it's actually under my contact, so that's annoying. Might have to take care of that in the break. I keep getting people complaining about the music every once in a while. I'll turn it down a bit. It doesn't seem too loud in the VODs when I hear it, but I'll turn it down a bit more. We do see Sonya Leoric, a little offlane hate coming through. They're both very, very solid offlaners for the map, to be fair, and kind of solid offlaners in general, Leo especially. So makes sense. A little bit of a fight over the offlane, most likely, so probably going to see offlane picked here, and Blaze will be the offlane for CCS9. And Stooky Boy. Stukov is very solid, especially on the map. Lots of zoning potential, as well as just a lot of annoyance. More I've been playing around in Quick Match, the more I've come to appreciate the value silence in general brings. It's probably the strongest CC in this game. Malthael and Tassadar are the final picks for Heavy Greg. So a very aggressive bruiser there. Not a lot of punishment for him, so makes sense. He's got a lot of ability to just kind of go in and wreak some serious havoc. This is also one of his better maps, so that's definitely a solid argument. Tessiter Vala means this is probably going to be a very slow fight comp, especially with Lucio. So Malthael might have some issues. He does have the in and out playstyle that he can lean back onto if he so wishes. And Jaina is the final pick, so we've got a pretty standard blow-up comp on the side of Business of Ferrets, and a pretty solid stall comp on the side of Heavy Greg. So everything looks fairly normal. We'll have to see how this plays out. Apparently I did not unpause the recording. That is unfortunate, but YouTube is all caught up now. Thought I pressed unpause, but I guess not. A little bit of poke going on. Lots of siege, though. Heavy Greg definitely showing why they're in the playoffs. Just as a quick reminder, Business of Ferrets is the underdog for this match. I still like them a lot. Like, they do pretty well. I mean, I'm not staring at the chat, Carly. I see, like, the most recent message first. But I just glance. Malthael in a bit of trouble, though. He will go down in that top lane. They might just give this objective and just push into top. They do have Beetle Sylph. Beetle Sylph is pretty nasty siege. And we're gonna get that front wall. Looks like Blaze might soak or try and bother the point a bit. They're probably gonna back off in a minute or two. It is a frozen Punisher, so they definitely have to answer. Quite a bit off that top fort, though. Ulysses taking the leap. I was gonna say, frozen orbs should be out soon. Don't mess with the streamer, it's not fair. Looks like Siege is gonna be about even. Oh, no, they'll get the fort. Not gonna get much else, though, I don't think. Sylph in some trouble. Sylph does go down there. So that was a fort for most of a fort. I think the 10s on the side of Business of Ferret are slightly better. Definitely close, though. A lot of it depends on how they can play around either... Honestly, Sylph's ult, I think, is going to play a major role in this. Bruiser Camp does get stolen by the Malthael. That's a pretty big steal. Especially on that timing. That's not going to be up for the next objective. And you really want those pushing during the objective. Those can just push indefinitely and cause all sorts of problems for your team. Sylph will be answering it, no problem, though. A little bit of anchoring from the Beetle. He should be all right. I don't think they can contest this, though, especially because 10s will be around for Greg very soon. There is the 10 advantage for Greg. A few things are probably going to decide this game. Sylph's ult, for one, and for two, if Greg can take advantage of this 10 window. Doesn't look like they're going to take too much advantage of it. They're going to pick up that neutral camp in that bot lane. Ten advantage should be lost pretty soon. Greg not really looking for a fight, though. Waves just detonating. To be fair, yeah, unstable poison. Unstable poison just kind of blows up waves. Cocoon does go out onto the Johanna. Should be burned very quickly. Randy Newman dropping very, very, very quickly. Does get grabbed by the Blaze. Black Hole getting some serious value. 2 for 0, or 2 for 1 right now. Pretty low, but is okay. Blaze staying in. He is full health. Does have the charge. He did use the charge, and he's fine. Solid 2 for 1 trade. I don't think they can get too much from that, though. Honestly, for once, I don't disagree with the physical armor pickup from the Stukov here. Basically, all of that damage is physical. And there's a decent amount of spell, but it's not too bad. Objective will be going live momentarily. Blaze is a little late to the objective. So they can't really fight this. What? I rolled an ad. Frick. Sorry, guys who are not stuck in the ad. I'm going to be a little distracted trying to stop this. A new wreck does go down there. Black hole goes through. Swipes. Last rights. Watching the ad timer. Welcome back, guys. Sorry, I lost track of the ad timer. I'm usually pretty good about that. I'm having a rough day today, apparently. Well, Heavy Greg did win the fight. Anubarak did go down first. Last rights was on the Sylvanas. I think I hit most of the important things of note. If not, Vayne, please throw in any other things that happened during that ad break. Fort's probably going to go down here. Heavy Greg definitely playing together. Very oppressive here. Again, showing why they're the favorite team today. Solid bait over the wall from the Anubarak. The Punisher's dropping very, very quickly. Quite a bit from that objective, but not a ton. Tune on to the Johanna. Wailing arrow on many. Oh, that's a double kill for nothing. Triple kill for nothing. Black hole does go out. Johanna trying to save someone. I don't think she was trying to save everyone but herself. But she will go down. Business of Ferrets showing that they are not out of this yet. Blaze will be dealing with the lane pressure. Malthael is generating. Meanwhile, Business of Ferrets will be grabbing their first fort of the game. Like I said, they are not out of this yet. That was a very solid fight. Lots of opportunities to pick up there. Also, Death's a little staggered. They should be able to get this front wall just fine. Might overstay their welcome a little bit here. Anubarak low on mana. Does not look like they're going to stay in. Playing pretty safe. Makes sense. Solid decisions. They're going to go ahead and pick up their own siege camp. Map pressure is going to keep mounting, especially with the Malthael being able to double soak. Blaze can a little bit, but nowhere near at the level of a Malthael. Speaking of huge, Johanna level, or Jaina level 1 quest is complete. That is a very big win for the Jaina. She's going to get quite a bit of extra damage from that completion there. Top lane pressure does need to be dealt with. Looks like Blaze is heading in that direction. That does mean, especially with down 16s, Business of Ferrets do not want to fight right now. And they're kind of positioned to take this fight. Shield goes out. Swipes go through. A little bit of miscommunication. The Ring of Frost counter synergy. Solid Wailing Arrow. 1 for 1. Anubarak does go down, though. 2 for 1. considering how much they were down, Vince Noir does get out. But considering how much they were down, that's probably a best case scenario for them. Also, they will be up to contest this objective. They do not have their bruiser. That is a very big downside. They have been getting that bruiser stolen constantly from them. Meanwhile, Heavy Greg will be picking up their own bruiser again. The Diablo bruiser camps can just push indefinitely. They need to be paid attention to. They need to be dealt with. You can't just ignore them. Objective does get started. Everybody is up. Wailing Arrow on a 20-second CD right now. Iron Skin does get broken. Dukov doing some zoning. Black Hole goes through. So does the Ring of Frost. Cocoon broken. Sylvanas very, very low. Blaze kind of alone right now. Last rights on him. Bunker. Nicely done, Blaze. Johanna has... or keep wanting to call her Johanna. Jaina does have her Ice Block. Fight was won by Business of Ferrets, but they can absolutely go back in on this, especially with Wailing Arrow back. Doesn't look like they want to, though. They are going to go ahead and give this. They do need to deal with that top lane, as I mentioned earlier. Gonna take some water while we wait. Ah, stalling the objective. Makes sense. They're getting a lot of map pressure here by stalling out the objective. I was wondering why the objective didn't happen while I was drinking my water. So they will pick up the siege camps mid and bot, putting some extra pressure onto that bot lane. That's a fairly high-level tactic for a Div C team, though. Best play Business of Ferrets probably has here is to bait and pull all the way back to keep. Kind of looks like that's what they're doing. Fort does go down. Punisher's dropping very, very quickly. Not sure how much they'll get from this. There it goes. Nubarak goes in. All ults are available for both teams. Ring of Frost goes through, not finding anyone. Blue health bar dropping very, very quickly. Nubarak does back out. Last right onto Stukov. Stukov does go down. Blaze keeping up the aggression. Does not have much health left, though. This face has good team fight. You do have a point. Business Ferret has a lot of team fight, but they're just having to deal with so much map pressure and don't have a solid answer to it. These camp invades just keep going through completely unpunished, usually because they don't have a choice. Blaze in a little bit of danger. Does take the charge out of there. 20 advantage is in play for Greg. Probably going to see some decent aggression momentarily. Now it actually looks like they're going to go ahead and play pretty safe on the map. Just trying to keep up the macro pressure. Maybe they siege in through bot? Now they're just trying to avoid the enemy team, it looks like. Not really taking advantage of the 20 level, just playing into the map. Solid pickup from the Johanna there. Ice Block not going to get too much value. Solid pick. And with that kill, now they start to siege in through that mid keep. They're going to go ahead and apply the permanent catapults to that mid lane. Increase the already oppressive map pressure that is on the side of Business of Ferrets. They just cannot leave their base basically at all. They are going to have 20s pretty soon, but Jaina is down, so they can't really look to fight here. again, they're just kind of poking at the map here. Cocoon onto the Johanna, blown up instantly. I was saying they're just gonna kind of keep poking at the map, increase the map pressure, and just slowly increase the stranglehold on their opponent. Does have the advantage of not really risking a sweep that's just gonna, or team wipe that's gonna cause the map to go against them. However, it does also increase the opportunities your opponent has to recover. So a lot of it depends on if Business of Ferrets can force their opponents to make a mistake. That might be one. If they can force the mistake and or punish a mistake, both sides looking for an engage here. Solid engage onto the Johanna. Ring of Frost getting some value, but both of the frontline pop their unstoppables. Malthael a little too low to go back in here. Joe pretty low. Blaze does go down instead, though. Cocoon on to the Lucio. Numerak does get walled off, burrows underneath it, but dies anyway. Vince Noir goes down, and that's probably some core damage, if not game entirely. Stukov goes down as well. Sylvanas is the only one left alive here.
Blue team dominated. Blue
Not for long. I was trying to think of something clever to say there. Couldn't come up with anything. But as she was the last one standing, Frozen Punisher will be moving on to the court here. No one will be around for quite a while. So that is, in fact, game one, as you see in the chat, GG's being called for Heavy Greg. Solid plays from both teams. That Stranglehold is just hard to fight back against. Heavy Greg got a solid lead and just used that to increase the pressure over and over. Again, they're the favorite team, so it does happen. Again, solid game though. Like, we might get to see a game 3 and or a reverse sweep. Business Affairs just has to find that little chink in the armor and just figure out how to destroy it. I'm gonna go ahead and roll an ad momentarily, though. Let's hop back to my screen and wait to roll the ad. Yeah, GG's for sure. Like, very, very solid game. Let's see, who got... Oh, I need to wait and roll the ad, but... Where is the... There it is. But while I'm here... Congratulations to our winner of the gamble. Looks... Oh, I don't see a lobby yet. So we're just hanging out. Honestly, after seeing that, like, I think Business of Ferrets' best play is to try and figure out a solid opportunity, and this could be it, to wield the map as a weapon, because they're not doing too well in those team fights, even with the better team fight draft. But if they can react to the stranglehold that their opponent had last game with an even better stranglehold, that could be enough to take us into a reverse sweep. Think that's their best play, but we'll see. Obviously, they can't hear me, and they shouldn't be able to, because I'm kind of coaching, so they should not be able to have that advantage. But yeah. Lots of compliments on the cocoons. Those were solid cocoons. They didn't last very long, but they were impactful for the times they, like, went out and stayed out. Let's let them know. Caster R. Get ourselves into game 1. Didn't I update the score? Okay. There we go. Welcome, everybody, to... I forgot to put our winner in there. Let's update that. Welcome, everybody, to Game 2 in our series between Business of Ferrets, CCS9. Is this a crossover? And Heavy Greg. CCS9 did lose their coin flip. So Heavy Greg did decide to go for first pick. Business of Ferrets banned out the offlane maps of Brax's Holdout and Dragonshire. Heavy Greg then banned out the teamfight map of Battlefield of Eternity and the macro teamfight map of Garden of Terror. So Business of Ferrets took the opportunity to take us to Infernal Shrines, the most common first map, I'm pretty sure, in NGS, which they lost, and now they're taking us to Cursed Hollow, which was not banned, but also banned, because Garden of Terror is just Cursed Hollow with extra steps. It does also have more camps, which does change how it works. Sorry to hear, Carly. As for the bans so far, we do have Lucio and Vala banned out by Business of Ferrets, and Heavy Greg banned out Anduin and Kel'Thos. Hogger is the first pick for this game. This is not his best map, but he's not bad here at all. Absolutely, they put up a good fight. He is a pretty aggressive bruiser. Also, Joe is still on deck. But she doesn't get picked up here. Again, we see the Beetle. Beetle was getting squished pretty regularly in game 1. But he does also have that macro potential, so they could be leaning into what I was talking about. Ahaha. First time seeing Cursed Hollow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times if a team likes Cursed Hollow, it just gets banned out. We're gonna have a Joeless game. Interesting. Joeless game. Very interesting. Unless we see an offlane Joe. I don't think offlane Joe would work. I mean, she'd work fine in the offlane, but in team fights, she's not a great bruiser. She doesn't really deal enough damage. Tracer's banned out here. I will say Malfurion May is pretty rough. And Hogger's there. Can a mod ban themselves? We do see the Tychus banned out as well. Interesting ban. I guess Tychus can burn through May pretty heavily. I don't know, Tychus is an interesting ban. I feel like he'd get way more punished than he would get value here.
Change is upon us.
Greg Greymane and Dihaka will be hitting the battlefield as well for Business of Ferrets. Or as Vane would say, woof. No context given. Tell that to all the games I've seen top damage. No. Fair enough. What? I am intrigued, Greg. I am intrigued. What on earth is Greg cooking? I mean, they're cooking a cake, but what else are they cooking? They said I should make the joke. They said it. Tassadar is the final pick up for Business of Ferrets. So they've got a pretty solid sustain comp. Malfurion is a sustain healer, so that's going to be a little rough for them to deal with. But they also have a lot of frontline burn. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out, honestly. Joe's damage is overtuned with the meta build. Like I was talking about earlier, we do have a patch coming up. So maybe they've got a nerf on her. I've not looked at them at all. I've not looked at any of the patch notes. But anyway, let us hit the battlefield here, ladies and gentlemen. No, I've not seen the PTR patch notes. I know I was just saying that. We do have on our left side, we have I'm a Burb on the Beetle, Tie-Dye Tights on Greymane, Kagamelen on the ever adorable Death Brightwing, Vince Noir on the Tassadar, Ulysses on the Dehaka, and that's everybody for Business of Ferrets CCS9. On the right side, we have Corrosive on May, Randy Newman on the Malfurion, Synthesis on the Hogger, Sneck on the Li Ming, Chim Chim on the Yorel, and once again, I have already said it, everybody, for Heavy Greg. Everybody's kind of hanging in mid. There we go. Now everybody's heading off to the lane. It does make sense that they waited for the Dahak to head off to lane to take advantage of his global presence. Augur might be dead here. Augur's very dead here.
Draws first
and there he goes. Stun on to the Anubarak. We don't see anyone soaking mid for Business of Ferrets right now. Looks like 2-2-1 for the laning. Prediction will be coming to an end momentarily. For you guys. I actually think it's over for you guys. Both sides are picking up some camps. Bruiser camp being picked up for Business of Ferrets. A little early for the Bruiser camp. It might go down before the objective happens. The Siege camp, however, I think that'll be pushing during the objective. And I've seen that thing get some serious value in the off lane like that. Especially with a global Dahaka, like, that's a lot of pressure. Oh, this is a 230 map. I thought this was 2. Whoops. Harley! You're like my most reliable better. Siege camp is picked up by the Brightwing to preempt the invade. Solid play by both teams there. Mid camp still needs to be answered. It has finally answered the blue mid camp, but there is a red mid camp. Daka can global in at any point, so he's going to increase that pressure in that top lane. Here we go. First full team fight of the game. And everybody's just kind of hanging. Everyone just hanging. Hanging out like this does benefit CCS9 a little bit better, as they are able to answer the map. They do have a lot of poking here. Here comes Greymane. Here comes the Haka, 5v4. Urel is still in that top lane. Augur trying to engage here. Engage from the Mei. Does pop her ice block. Sleep onto the Haka, Mei dropping very, very quickly. Urel does arrive. Blue health bar's very low. Nubarak in a little bit of danger. He does burrow out. Looks like the fight will be won by Heavy Greg with 1 kill. There you go, Carly. My mod ordered you to feel better. So either feel better or, you know, be banned. I kid. Greymane in a little bit of danger in that mid lane, but is okay.
Gathers enough tribute this time.
Daka is chilling in that top lane. Kind of being a little aggressive. Front wall was taken, though. Stasis gets popped. Bruiser camp will probably be up, but the question is, are they really okay giving this? And it does look like they're going to trade a second curse for a boss. Not the worst play in the world. Lose nacho privileges. Yeah, no, you lose nacho privileges. Boss will be picked up by CCS9. It looks like Boss is also being picked up by Greg. Not sure if this will be able to be dealt with in the, or dealt with before objective. If not, they might have to give a fort to fight over the objective, in which case they really have to win the objective. They are going to go ahead and pick up their siege camp.
Gather tribute.
Boss still pushing in through that bot lane.
The choice is simple.
And advantages in play for Heavy Greg. Augur's in a little bit of danger, all on his lonesome over here. Cocoon does go out. The danger he's in does continue to increase. Good stun. Good bullet. Augur dropping very, very quickly. He does ult out. Honestly, that may have just won them this fight, because Augur cannot go back in right now. Ice Wall onto the Brightwing. Nice timing on the stun. Brightwing very, very dangerous. In a lot of danger, rather. Black Hole getting some value. Augur dropping quickly. Everybody dropping, but healing right back up. Urel pops her ultimate. Stun onto a Nubarak. Channel does start for Randy Newman. And does conclude for Randy Newman. First objective of the game going in favor of Heavy Greg. Map not really on their side, though. They do have to deal with that top camp. Daka already down in the bot lane, dealing with that bot lane. Looks like they're willing to give that top fort. That might be the only thing they need to give. Brightwing in a lot of danger, though. Does get comboed and does go down. Resets going through for the Li Ming. Top fort goes down. Tassadar gets stunned. Not a lot of follow-up in range, though. Looks like it'll be minimal damage from this objective.
Red team.
2 forts is not bad. Top lane does need to be answered. Augur is making some interesting moves in that bot lane. I'm just watching that mini. Looks like everything will be cleared up relatively quickly. They can't pick up by blue team. Does actually look like we're going to see all 3 forts taken out by Heavy Greg, due at least in part to the curse. Hogger's all on his lonesome. He will go ahead and finish that off. Greymane in quite a bit of danger here. Cleanse goes on to the Greymane, but it's not going to be enough. Greymane still goes down. Resets onto the Ming. Ming does get cocooned. Anubarak in quite a bit of danger. Does burrow out. Black Hole gets popped for the disengage. I'm a Burb is probably not a... Yeah, not a Burb anymore. I'm a Burb is now a corpse. Tassadar goes down as well. 13 advantage in play for Heavy Greg. Brightwing does get herself out of danger. Hogger gets himself in danger, though. He wants that Fairy Dragon's blood. That is one hungry Knoll there. Brightwing does survive, though. Meanwhile, mid lane camp is getting a little bit of value here. We'll start sieging in just a moment. Business of Ferrets definitely playing well across the map here, but they just are getting shut down by that curse and a little bit of, honestly, the same level of skill in macro. The combination of equal macro and unequal curses does a game end. First curse is going in favor of Heavy Greg here. Looks like Business of Ferrets are going to make a play for the boss. A bit of a dangerous call since everyone is right here. Daka can global in any moment. Black Hole gets popped. Everybody disengaging from that boss pit. Respect to the space goat. Indeed. Gotta respect the space goat. Boss gets restarted. And she's bringing some serious value in here. Looks like we're going to see another boss trade take place. Does get completed by Business of Ferrets. They can just rotate up into this top lane. They might be able to contest this. Space goat, goat to goat. No, they're not able to contest this. Good zoning from the Hogger. Boss will continue to push in through the bot lane. Tassadar wall does go out. A little bit of disconnect. Hogger goes down. Maywall does not synchronize properly this time. Mid and top need to be answered by Business of Ferrets, but they also need to win this objective. May dropping very, very quickly. Pops her ice block. She goes down. Map needs to be answered. Objective needs to be picked up. Everything needs to be done by Business of Ferrets, and they have a very short time to do it right now. Boss pushing on to that top keep. Actually, Siege is probably going to be about the same, honestly. A little bit of Siege onto the keep itself. And Dubrak dealing with that mid lane. Looks like we might see another team fight over this bruiser camp. Not sure if Business of Ferrets sense it out.
Earn my favor.
And no, Heavy Greg does back off. Might be a little late for them to pick this up. We will have to see. I don't think I've seen that talent picked up. Interesting. Daka gets found. Nubrak trying to zone. Nice cursed bullet. May dropping very quickly here. Nubrak keeping up the aggression. May's basically out of this fight for a bit. And Nubrak is dead. Very, very low. Does get teleported too. May wall finds two. Burrell smacks some people into a wall. Beetle dropping quickly still. The Haka dropping. Does pop his stasis as well as his essence. Channel started by the May. Haka zoned out. He can global back in. He's also a race car, so he might go down to bot for essence and teleport in. No, he's gonna hearth and teleport back in. Both sides kind of poking at each other. The longer this goes, the more it benefits Business of Ferrets. Engage from the Dahaka. Engage Curse Bullet does miss. A Nubarak pretty low. Does go to sleep there. Kind of tights dropping. Teleport onto the Nubarak. Mid fort continues to go down. Dahaka's still pretty low though. Space Goat over the wall. Maywall not finding anyone. Hogger on his own. Doesn't seem he cares. Black Hole not doing anything there. Greymane and Anubrak will go down here. Midfort will go down here. Tassadar will go down here. It's a bloodbath. Someone call Leoric. We've got to clean up on aisle 1. Clean up on aisle 1. Siege Camp is picked up by Heavy Greg, and they will be utilizing this to push in through this bot keep, it seems. Augur taking quite a bit of damage, though. They don't have a ton of siege, but I think they can still take this. Yep.
Has destroyed a fort.
Hey, Zoltos! Little late to game 2, but good to have you.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
This is Curse for Heavy Greg. I forget what this quest does. 36 basic attacks against heroes. Huh. Taka dealing with that top lane a little bit. Again, he can global in at any time. Nice curse bullet. Urel dropping very quickly, but she does pop the absorb. Beetle gets teleported too. Black Hole not fighting anyone. Brightwing dropping very quickly. Augur mad! He did go Hog Wild there. First time I've actually seen Hog Wild actually get value, honestly. That is 3 down, 20 advantage for Heavy Greg and Curse. Honestly, they might just walk past this keep after, you know, murdering a lizard, and just go right onto core. And it does look like that's what they're gonna do. Not sure Greymane can do anything about this. He's got to deal with a whole heck of a lot all at once and all on his lonesome. And he's at half health. And he's at no health. 20 seconds. Does not look like... Yeah, does not look like they're going to have any opportunity to answer this. Core will go down. And that is game 2 for Heavy Greg. Ardent Defender, not Bubble. solid attempt from Business of Ferrets. I don't know whether or not they heard my cast, but they played that how I thought they had a chance playing that. Probably the best map they had a chance to pull it off on too, but they were just not able to win a single fight, and it's hard to win this game when you can't win even one fight. They weren't able to leverage the macro, and yeah, it was getting answered just way too well. Definitely one of those Business of Ferrets played well. Heavy Greg played significantly better. They were on point for almost everything. Very, very nicely done, though. Let me see about getting us an interview. No replies as of yet, but we might still have an interview. Fair enough, Vane. Fair enough. Oh, for sure. I mean, Business of Ferrets played very well. You guys just...
Oh, yeah.
There was basically no fault in your guys' play, and there's no beating a team that plays basically flawlessly.
Ooh.
Yeah,
They played so well.
those cocoons were really, really good in game one.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
were just
it's
better at
really
killing them.
good.
Like, everything that I'm like, they did this really well. You guys just
Yeah.
answered it better.
Mhm. Yeah, that second game, we went pretty beefy to survive those cocoons, at least.
Fair.
Yeah, the heavy comments might have played a role, but
Fair. Very, very, very fair. But yeah, game one, you guys were just very oppressive on that map. Like, the Bruiser Camp was getting stolen on CD, like... That's... I don't think I've cast you guys... I might have cast you guys once. Is that something you guys typically thrive at, is the macro pressure?
Yeah, I think we like the macro. I feel like we try to take the camps when we can, and like Malthiel's so good at moving around the map and doing
for sure.
camps, and then having Lucio gives us kind of group speed to move around, and we like that, trying to just constantly put map pressure on teams and take good fights when we can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was, like, the fights were kind of anyone's game, but while I'm sitting there watching the fights, I'm just like, but the map! So it's
Yeah,
just like,
they played those team fights so well in the first game, like it was just milliseconds of maybe getting a high five off or not. I felt like was the difference in a couple of those late game ones.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, and then game two, they tried to answer your macro with more macro, and it worked pretty well early on, but Cursed Hollow is one of those games that you need to win just a handful of team fights to pull it out, and you guys, like I said, I was watching and I was just like, this isn't a Div C team! Like,
The beefcakes. Too much
They had-
beef.
they had quite a wombo there. Like I thought I was dead. I think Chim came up and saved me with the hammer when I got cocooned all by myself there.
oh yeah, no, I thought you were a corpse there. I thought you were 100% a corpse there, and I was like, the fight's over. Even with how low you were, I was like, the fight's over. But you were able to get healed up and stall out the fight long enough that you guys still managed to get a good engage and turn it around. But yeah, no, like,
Yeah,
it was really one of those... they were a solid team. They played well.
Sure.
You guys just played better. Like...
Yeah, they played really well. Their camp timings were great. They were on the boss when they needed to be. It definitely made us play well to be able to win that one for sure.
That is something I wanted to point out. One of the big things that really showed just the intelligence level of both teams, they started the siege camp early and then were waiting on it. You guys sniffed that out, went for the invade. They sniffed out the invade and picked it up. Like, it was a series of reading each other successfully. It was beautiful to watch the dance.
Okay, yeah, well, we're excited to watch the VODs because some of that we weren't sure. Like, wow, that camp's been up a while. You think they're on it? We saw somebody bot, like, maybe we should try to take it. And it's like, then they got it right as we were there.
Yeah, no,
So that makes
I
sense
would,
that they were waiting on it. Okay.
there was a few moments here and there where it really looked like both teams were just reading each other back and forth. And even if it wasn't intentional, I would definitely say watch the VODs. They're solid.
Oh yeah.
There were some solid, just tactical decisions in that early game 2, where it's just like both teams just on point reading each other.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's always exciting to watch the VODs back because in the moment
sure.
it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. So chaotic. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else I want to talk about, so I'll go ahead and leave the floor open to you guys for shoutouts.
Okay, Senth, you want to do this?
Well, shoutouts to heavy hitters and Xanth, our coach, for coaching this season, and shoutouts to Business of Ferrets for giving us a good round. And any others there, Randy?
Yeah, thanks to you and NGS. Always
thanks.
love when you're able to cast these games. It's so fun to. We always sit around after a post-match brawl and then watch the replay and talk about it and everything. And it's always fun to have some neutral person watching the game and commentating, so that we can, because you guys often pick up things that we don't even notice. And yeah, so it's always fun to play competitive games. And yeah, really thanks to Business of Ferrets for putting up a great fight in both games. Made us really have to play top level HOTS to win that one going into the playoffs here. So that was great. Yeah, thanks to all our fans, all the Gregs, heavy or not heavy, we love them all. All right, take care.
You too.
Yeah.
Good luck in the playoffs.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.
Alrighty, I believe I remember seeing some other casters, so give me a minute to see who's are all. Thank you. Thanks, Carly. Give me a second to see who all is casting. If not, I'll send you out to someone else. That's an hour away. I'm not gonna make you guys wait an hour. Yeah. All right. So it looks like I get to send you guys wherever I want. So it's been a pleasure. I will quickly run through, see if there's any. Yeah, I did miss some notifications. DFA Wilfie, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Good to have you. Oh, it was cut out. I just realized. I mean, that was kind of the plan. Huh? Why am I getting added and removed from the streamer role? What? Ah, gotcha. What's up? Oh, I didn't know about the free cosmetics. I didn't know about the 5K. Live streams. I mean, I like spending time with people and stuff, and, like, don't tend to have time to, like, fully watch live streams. I'm legitimately, thinking about starting to stream earlier, though. Yeah, start, like, doing a little bit of a, like, 2-hour stream before NGS casting. I mean, I've been kind of doing a little better. So it's like, and definitely a risk I'm willing to take. I mean, yeah. I know I'd be solo, it's just... Yeah, I don't know. I keep going back and forth about it. Well, thanks. I'm going to run to the bathroom and refill drinks, and probably grab a snack. And do other housekeeping shenanigans.